just so like unsatisfied in the end.
And with that, welcome to a special TV episode of Three and a Half Gentlemen, the podcast, where three of the four hosts provide a refined and intellectual analysis of movies from our private collections or TV shows. While one of us tries desperately to keep up, we'll let you decide which host is which. But for now, my name is Sean, and with me, as always, are my fellow movie monks or TV monks, Jeremiah.
He doesn't even drink. So fucking annoying, yo. What up?
Eddie.
You cannot outrun pain.
And Brandon.
Eddie, hooking up with you would be an empty experience.
Soulless. Soulless.
Jeez, yeah, you cannot outrun pain. You're soulless. Throughout season 6, we're going to be talking about several different TV shows, starting with The White Lotus, season 3, the hit show on HBO Max.
As with every review we give, our goal is to answer one simple question. How many drinks does it take to get through the film, or in this case, the show that we just watched? Now, at the end of the podcast, we'll rate each episode based on a scale of 0 to 5, with 0 being a perfect episode that you can watch stone cold sober, and 5 being sort of the episode, and I'm not going to say what Brandon has
you're gonna say
here. I'm just going to say the episode that makes you feel like you accidentally walk into your mom's booty call.
I was on the
script.
With that, Brandon, what episode are we enjoying this evening?
Well, we're going to continue our little foray into the White Lotus, and now the White Lotus takes viewers into and behind the scenes of the swanky White Lotus Resort. Seasons 1 and 2 took us to Hawaii and Sicilian coast, respectively, and with the third season, we find ourselves in Thailand. With episode 6, we have the Ratliff parents visiting the monastery to decide if they are going to allow Piper to move there for a year. Papa Ratliff wrestles with ending his life before the feds catch up with him. The brothers Ratliff deal with their own wild night with Chloe. Rick finally makes his way into Sritala's home to meet up with her husband, and the fallout amongst the three frenemies after Jacqueline's night of fun with Valentine. And yes, Guy Talk is still pointless in his episode, except we find out that he's a pretty good shot with the newly recovered gun. And so I'm just going to take a second and just say, this episode had so much going on. I just kept writing what happened, and it just kept going on and on and on. As of this recording, the episode has an IMDb score of 8.1 and has an average critic score of 90% and an audience score of 84% on Rotten Tomatoes for the season, which is a decline from previous episodes and previous weeks. So we're seeing a trickle-down effect.
What I think we're seeing is not a trickle-down. I think we're seeing a rock bottom out of 2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Sean, so let me ask you something. The first 5 minutes of this episode where you're just like, fuck yeah, I fucking called this one. It happened. This is exactly how this episode should start off. What was your reaction, dude?
There's a scene in Seinfeld where George stands up and he yells the word vindication and he pumps his fist in the air, vindication. And that's all I felt. And then all of a sudden White what's his name?
Mike White.
Mark White. Mike White.
There we go.
Mike.
Just ripped it out from under my legs. And then he did it again a second time, although I will say the second time I was prepared for it, unless I did not stand and yell, but I went, ooh, this is an interesting twist. And, I will say this, as much as I love Mrs. Ratliff, and her tsunamis and the way she pronounces words is fantastic. I want the whole Ratliff family just to go. I want there to be just a mass murder of the Ratliff family.
Piper.
Piper's the worst.
Oh no.
Yeah, I do. I was gonna say, I know Sean was like, I called it, but he didn't. Obviously, he called the dream.
He did.
And so Isaac's dreams are really out there. That's the lorazepam. But I was going to say something I think we're always forgetting about the White Lotus is the main death, what we're trying to solve. It's not a serious, it's almost like a joke, or it's almost like she fell off the boat, right? Or the other one was
it's
he was taking a shit on the luggage or stuff like that, right? So it's almost like we're trying to think this big murder mystery, and it's going to be fucking something stupid. It's going to be really something stupid, I feel like. And I feel like maybe somebody's accidentally passion fruit or killed the whole family by accident because maybe Tim, the dad, wants to kill his whole family.
Now, on that,
I do have a prediction.
I do have a prediction.
Let me
Let me beat your prediction. If it has to do with the monkey, It has to do with the monkey. So Michelle Monaghan was asked.
It has nothing to do with the monkey.
I was just going to make it clear. Michelle Monaghan was interviewed. She was asked directly, is it going to be the monkey grabs the gun and shoots somebody? And she said, absolutely not. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. So we've been floating that at times. It's not the monkey. But, Sean, what is it?
I can tell you, I think I know what's going to happen. I believe that Guy Talk is going to be the shooter, and I believe that it's going to be his failures consistently as a security guard and his excellent shot, his excellent marksmanship that's going to be the foil of this season. It's going to
back
be
to episode 1.
And he's going to.
I called that.
He could kill several people.
It's not that serious. It's not that serious. I don't think it's that serious.
It's going to be the poison fruit. It's going to be the poison fruit.
I think we're assuming it's multiple shots. It could be something else.
No, it's multiple shots.
No assumption. There were multiple shots.
100%. Multiple shots.
It's also tsunami. I could also hear it's a tsunami and glasses breaking.
When Belinda's son jumps in the water, he's dodging bullets coming his way. Like, go back to the first 2 minutes, and you'll see him go, because there's bullets flying his way.
I think all these things that you guys are talking about, it sounds perfect on the table. There's probably a big multiple gunshot down thing going down. You're probably going to have to do something with like Guy Talk actually taking down the robbers or something like that. You know,
he's going to be the hero.
Totally like, a red herring or something like that compared to something else. Or you can have a situation where, like Eddie said, the father decides to do the ultimate suicide for his family because, he feels like he's part of the ocean and he sees the light of day, like taking his life away. Probably be something like that.
And then he gets a phone call saying he's cleared.
Oh, that's
something
the
ultimate.
ultimate.
So he just killed his whole family for nothing, like the Mist type stuff.
Oh, that's the Mist. Mist. That would be. I tell you what. Of all the endings you've come up with, Ed, I think that is my favorite. I would love for him to kill the whole cast and then like be there in a pile of blood and then get the phone call from Kenny. We're in the clear, man. We're in the clear.
Yes.
The theme of this season, it says, they die in 3. Here. We're going to have 3 deaths. They're going to be 3 deaths in this season at the end.
So I mean, what makes you say that?
Chelsea keeps talking about it. They die in 3. They die in 3. Now look at this, man. Okay, the kids are in 3. You have the 2 Russian guys and the guys in 3. You have the 3 girls in 3. You have all these people kind of set up like this in a way. It's I feel like they're throwing it out there, man. I mean, something's going to happen.
I'm not seeing the 3. The Rattler family of
no, but 3 kids,
5.
3 kids, the 3 women,
3 kids.
Okay, the 3 women,
the 2 Russians and Valentine, right? That's 3, right?
They're all Russian, so 3 Russians.
Okay, the 3 girls.
Yeah.
3. Okay. I mean, dude.
And then the massage therapist.
Well, she's going to get together with that guy 2 more times, and that's going to make it 3.
And Walt Goggins' character. I'm just saying,
with Frank for 3 nights.
Yes, there are groups of 3.
Wait a second. You got Frank, you got Walton, and you maybe have the
Greg
father.
Gary.
That's
you
got Greg Gary.
Yeah. I'm just saying, dude. You got Belinda, you got her lover, and you got your son. 3. And guess what, Sean? You know what season it is? It's season 3.
Oh, it's 3.
A little bit.
Eddie, you had something to say. You were saying the elephant in the room. Let's go ahead and address it.
Yes, let's address the when they got back to the room, the brothers, they switched shorts. Do you guys notice that? Why did they switch shorts? Like, why were they switching shorts?
Up. They just found whatever shorts.
Did you notice that
was on the ground
of the party? Yeah, and they came back to the hotel. They had different shorts. They had each other's shorts.
That's not the only thing that they shared,
I find
my friend.
That interesting but I find it interesting they could fit into the same size clothes because Patrick Schwarzenegger seems to be considerably larger than his little skinny brother.
That's why he was super tight in his brother's shorts. He was like extra tight, bulgy in that one on the way back there.
What'd you guys think of it?
I thought the whole incest. I from the beginning, I'm not a huge fan of this just brazen like incest. I was hoping that I was always hoping that there would be, and I think I said this on the first episode, that there would always be some disqualifier, like they weren't really brothers, they were married together or something, or they weren't really siblings or something happened, they were all adopted. But just to have incest for incest's sake seems unnecessary, and you could have left it at innuendo, especially the way they did it. I'm not a fan. I don't think that contributes to society.
I got bad news, Sean. I think that this is going to be the beginning of our incestuous trail. I genuinely think so. I think that Lachlan has got I think he's got the hots for his bro, right? And I think he's got the hots for his little sis. No, I mean the reality is,
and his sister.
The reality is that this is something that if they hadn't addressed, if they left this kind of as that cliffhanger or as that kind of turned rock, I think that would have been kind of really kind of a jacked up thing for us as the viewer, because they set this up from literally second one with the Ratliff family, right? Now, I do want to just say one thing before we move on to another, is that I know we've been going back and forth over the last couple of episodes, and you have been saying that you think that Mama Ratliff knows what's going on, that she's aware, that maybe even she was the one that sold him out. I know that's one of the theories being thrown around there. I think that this episode proved that she is as klutzy and ditzy and in the dark about everything that Tim Boy is doing. And I just want to get you guys' thoughts about that.
I got something different.
Show me.
So I think she's super manipulative. Because I'm sure they have life insurance, and I'm sure there's that's the only money that's left, and she knows what's going on, and she's like, yeah, I would kill myself. Like,
I would know about the gun?
She's just pushing him.
I think it's a stretch.
She's definitely pushing him to the brink. Maybe, but I'm saying I read that whole performance as manipulative as opposed to realistic. But maybe once again, this show is so twisted and different. Who knows? Who knows?
And that's what makes the show so good. I mean, in a way, it's just like you are literally kind of like trying to figure out like who is what and what's going on here. And I love that.
I will say, as far as the incest was concerned, it was I'm totally against everything that happened on screen. I don't think it should have happened. I just have to preface that by saying that. But at the same time, it was the least offensive way they could have gone about it. There are other ways that they could have made it worse. Let's put it that way.
I think we need to kind of hit for Eddie, the giraffe in the room right now. And that is Greg Gary. I think that Greg Gary has been lying in wait for this whole season, and in the next two episodes, Greg Gary is going to come in to play huge. And I keep going back to this because he is the only character who is in 3 seasons, right? We've talked about this. To me, that's not coincidence. That's not just Mike White liking the actor and saying, hey, I'm going to throw you a bone, my friend. This is something that is building and building, and I think that we're going to have it hit its head next episode with that dinner party. So I just want to get you guys' thoughts.
I'm going to say something controversial. I think he's the most interesting goddamn character on the show right now. I think that Walton Goggins they're stretching this out way too long with the confrontation. Yeah. And Greg Gary and his whole Belinda, did he kill, Jennifer Coolidge or have her killed or what's going on there? That's the only mystery that I really care about at this point. Mm-hmm. The Ratliffs can go pound sand. The trio of women are catty and horrible and sleeping with each other, cheating on spouses and doing things just to hurt each other. And I'm like, God, that's the least attractive storyline other than the Ratliffs. Yeah. And everything else is kind of just like, I mean, really, that's all I care about is this. I want to see this house. If it's above White Lotus, I want to see the house.
We kind of saw the house in a couple of those shots where where Chloe walks back in, and it's a beautiful house.
I think seriously, the Last Supper scene for next episode is going to be pretty freaking epic. With you have all the chess pieces finally at the chessboard. I'm pretty excited about that. Do you think that Greg Gary is going to offer Belinda, like, kind of bribe her in a way, like, hey, I will give you the start off money for your own like spa resort, and
she's going to take it,
company, and she might take it.
But why?
Why? That is her dream.
I mean, here's the thing.
To not blow his cover.
No.
To not blow his cover. I feel like
they're in Thailand. Whose cover is being blown by whom and against whom? Just his wife or his girlfriend?
There's the paper trail. He's not stupid. He knows what's up, dude.
I'm not gonna lie. Her dying on a yacht with him 5,000 miles away. If there was any investigation, it's over. It's done. It's been a year. All the dot lines have been. The insurance company would not have paid out unless everything was okay. The trust wouldn't have been administered unless everything was okay. We're talking about a conspiracy that doesn't exist around this guy.
But he's trying to cover up something.
Why?
He had a different name. He has a different name from the other name here, right?
He knows that she knows
that he knows that they know.
Yes, I saw you before.
Yeah. So
you're also you're trying to impose nefarious things on a guy that is in 3 seasons has yet to improved slimy, but nefarious. He could just go by different names.
Wow, you are really supporting this guy.
Yeah, no. I think he's a piece of shit. I'm just telling you that there's no factual evidence to support what you're saying.
But if we're talking about Greg Gary as a character, as a person, obviously as a fictional person, I don't think that he's a killer, right? I don't think that he's the killer type. So when they're talking about inviting him over for the party and all this, I don't think it has anything to do with him killing. He's not somebody to get his hands bloody. He's just maybe hire out for that. But that makes me then wonder, what is his actual purpose for having them over? And so I'm floating this question out to you guys. Why is he really, if he's not going to kill him, which I don't think he is, why does he want them to come over so bad?
And Belinda's particularly.
And Belinda.
Yeah. Because he knows Belinda can tie him to the wife.
So he got her money.
Yeah, but
they're tied to him, dude.
Investigation is
there's no evidence of that.
Jennifer Coolidge remembered from season 1 that this girl was supposed to, hey, I'm gonna buy a masseuse with you. I'm all in. And then looks up to her, hey, she died like 2 weeks ago. Let's just say it's really close, and it's with her at she knows. Okay, well, the last person I saw with her was him at Hawaii. Right. Yeah. So she's done the question and you go by a different name. So what's up?
Which is a good question, Ed.
So,
and I wonder how much time was there between season 1 and season 2? Do we know that? Because obviously they would.
It sounded like married. It sounded like none. It sounded like they kind of went from Hawaii. So because she said in season 2, Jennifer Coolidge says you were supposed to follow me to Italy and you didn't follow me. You went to work and then you came and that was a week ago. That's why I got my assistant.
But at some point they had to get married, which I know can happen anywhere. But at the same time, are you thinking so you're thinking it's a short amount of time. So seasons 1 through 3 is talking maybe a year and 2 months.
A year and change, maybe. Yeah.
So in that sense, I think that everything revolves around Greg Gary. I know that we got season 4 has already been greenlit and bought by Max. I think that Greg Gary's in a weird predicament as a character. Are they going to extend his storyline, which, as we've seen with Rick and with Tim, Ratliff, that they stretch storylines out, like Sean was saying, maybe too long. Is that something you think is going to happen with Greg Gary, that he is really kind of the undercurrent foundation for all of White Lotus's connectors?
Any possible way that he could be connected with the White Lotuses?
More likely. So Bureau of Land Management would deal with only continental United States land, not anything else. Maybe Hawaii, maybe Puerto Rico, but definitely not in Italy, definitely not in Thailand. Now, everyone keeps saying that Glenn Gary, whatever his name is, Greg Gary is Greg Gary is connected with, and I have yet to see one piece of evidence to suggest that is true. And so I don't buy that until I've seen it.
The photograph in what's his name's bedroom in season 2.
He knew the guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, intimately, not intimately like Saxon and Lachlan intimate, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but there was no payment or anything like that. We know of. I mean, the way she died was so awkward. It was just so weird.
Well, wasn't she going to get killed no matter what? No matter how she died? She was going to get killed.
Insurance scams, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
So the possibility was all set up by him, and that's probably why he's been on the run. Well, let's talk about Rick and his journey here. Do you think that we're going to have like an Empire Strikes Back moment that the person that he's after, he's going to see, Scott Glenn's going to be his father?
Nope.
That he's going to actually see his father?
We're going to have a Kill Bill Volume 2. We're going to have a small conversation, right? But it makes sense. I don't think we're building this up. Even Frank is building it up, right? Even Frank is building it up as going to be this big violent showdown. And he's like, no, I'm not going to bring the gun. If that's what why do you need the gun? So we have it all built up in our head to be this one thing. And then, as White Lotus does, it's going to manipulate us and really kind of, I think, undersell it a whole lot. And my worry about this is that it's going to be so undersold, that it's going to be so anticlimactic that we're just going to be just kind of disappointed with it. And that's what I'm going to go out on the limb and say.
Who's the director?
Mike White.
Who's the director that he?
Mike White's directing the whole.
No. Who's the director that he brought to?
Frank.
It wasn't Sam Rockwell.
It is.
Yeah,
it's Frank.
Yeah,
that was Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, that was Sam Rockwell. Yeah.
Oh, it was unrecognizable. He the voice, the way he. Oh man, I did not realize it was him. Okay, I'm sorry.
So I think that happened with Rick and Frank. Just, he has said multiple times that this guy fucked my life up.
Just don't be surprised if Scott Glenn ends up being his father, and his father has been alive this whole time, and he's the Kaiser Sose of this whole situation, and he's going to meet his dad for the first time, or in a long time.
Here's my problem is that as much as people want to shit on this season, and as much as we've gone back and forth on this season, there are still these questions that I want answered. I want to know why we're watching Michelle Monaghan's character. Why those three women are important to the show, I have no idea, because it's just been a catty bullshit, no story adaptation, no character development, nothing. Getting perms and massages and sleeping with each other's men. Like there's nothing there.
Valentine and the Russians, I think they're the people that are robbing it. So it's going to come down to like one important part for the girls. They're going to realize those are the three guys. We know those guys.
I hope something comes of it. I do. I hope we have some flashback, because after 6 episodes, it's been very, very lame.
But here's the scary part for me. Here's the part that makes me feel uncomfortable about this season, is that we've only got two episodes left. We've got 2 hours left, essentially, for them to wrap up a whole lot of loose ends. Now, can they do it? Absolutely. My concern is,
that's the length of a movie.
It is, but at the same time, when you have so many different things, and Sean, I'm going to throw your words right back at you. It's White Lotus, and White Lotus takes its time. It doesn't rush a damn thing. So really, 2 hours of a normal episode or show, absolutely, we can figure all this shit out. But if we continue the same pace, right? We don't even know what Guy Talk is all about, or what's her name, right? Whatever her name is, Mook. We don't even know.
She's been in 2 episodes. I heard Mook was going to be do this performance.
Yeah,
nothing. I got nothing.
Question, like kind of ties into, we've been talking about this whole season. Who's the dead person in the pond? Could it be Mook?
No.
Could it be accidentally Mook or something like that?
Lachlan.
Let's go around the circles and say, who do you think?
Brandon thinks it's Lachlan.
I think it's Lachlan, and I do think it's going to be because of the fruit. I think the fruit is going to be a mismanaged situation that's going to kill Lachlan. Okay. Yeah.
So I feel like Timothy, the dad, is going to try to kill himself because he's going to realize the gun is gone. So he makes his death wish of a blender drink because he remembers. Okay. And he's accidentally not drink it, and his sons are going to drink it.
Saxon?
Hey, Dad, thanks. You made one for Saxon and Lachlan. I think they're both going to make it. Yeah, and then I don't know what happens. I feel like the ones floating in the pool, I think it's the mom. For some reason, I think it's the mom floating in the pond. Something's going to happen.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
what about you, Sean?
My opinion has turned of late, and I think that this is going to be a Shakespearean. I think that Carrie Coon is pissed that the Russian slept with Michelle Monaghan and not her, and she's just so furious that she's going to kill the motherfucker. Like, I think that was the only thing that I can think of that would be out of left field and make sense and be good. Like, I'm waiting for something you're wasting these characters. I'm sorry, you are.
So I think, going back to my word, I want to go back. I do think it's going to be somebody who's working there, like a Valentine. I like that idea, because I don't think anyone on the White Lotus property, I don't think a person who stays there has died. So Jennifer Coolidge person dies off the boat.
No, the manager died
so
season 1.
Tie to White Lotus. So
no. He's one of the guests.
He's an employer. He's an employee.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
So this is their way, White Lotus, to still stay out of tricky business.
Yeah.
So I can't take this because Hannah said this and she made a funny joke about it. It could be Belinda's boyfriend because it turns out that anyone that tries to help her out with her business usually ends up dead. Oh, just like Jennifer Coolidge. And like, he actually
but
said,
I love him.
She just might have that bad luck, man, or something. You know, hey, you want to start a business? Yeah, sure. Oh, guess what? My partner's dead.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be tragic because I really like him, and I think that I think we could also agree that this episode, you know, was a better discussion, there was better things brought to the forefront. We had some things answered, we had some setups. Overall, I think this was a better episode. What do you guys think, Jeremiah?
I agree.
Well, I agree, and I can't wait to talk about our scores for our listeners because I'm pretty excited about this one, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
And that brings us to the end of review. Now it's time in the podcast where each of the hosts provides his score.
Team Laurie. Hey, but everyone's on Team Laurie's side, right? I know we don't like them, but realistically, we're on her side.
Is that Carrie?
Yeah.
I like her the best.
Yeah, Michelle, dude, that was the biggest gaslighting thing I've ever seen, dude. Fuck her.
And then she turns around and acts like she's the victim. You are the one who invited these people. You were trying to get them together, and you purposefully attacked him. You knew that would be the most devastating person.
She knows she fucked up, and that's the only way she can actually handle that shit.
I'll go ahead and bring this back, right? 0, the perfect episode. You don't need shit to enjoy it. 1, a feel-good first cocktail. 2, a happy buzz. 3, you're in the Uber or lifting home. 4, a rough morning walk of shame. 5, blackout, shit face, spring break, drunk. All right, gentlemen, put in your scores.
All right. While we're calculating our scores, I will say this is a good time to say I think that I'm very happy we've done the White Lotus so far, and I am looking forward to the last 2 episodes. But I do feel like of all the seasons, no, maybe that's not true. Of all the shows that we've reviewed, this is kind of the most fluctuative. It goes up and down the most. But that being said, 3, 2, 1.
Okay.
Can't see it.
I think I know what you're saying. Oh, yeah. Okay. Jerry, you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'll start off, guys. Honestly, I kind of respect this episode because it gave us so many different scenarios of what could happen. It almost felt like I was watching Clue. Like, this could happen this part, or this person could die this part, you know? So I was really excited about this whole thing. And what this episode did, it just gave me more fuel. Like, I can't wait to get to the final episode of the season because everything's set in stone. Everything is falling into place. Everyone's going to their different parts of the story. I can't wait for it. This was not a bad episode at all. This was actually a good episode from the last episode that we had, episode 5, which was like a banger. This one was kind of like, you know what? I'm feeling pretty good. And that's why I gave it a 1.15. Really enjoy this episode. I'm ecstatic on this one. So I'm going to go to Brandon here.
Yeah. So I'm getting tired of saying this is a great filler episode, or this is a great, middle of the play kind of episode where it's setting things up. Was this a good episode? Absolutely. Was this one of the most enjoyable episodes to watch? I think 100% yes. My issue isn't with the episode, and that's why my score, I think, is a pretty good score based off the episode. But I just want to use this time to just vent a little bit of frustration that we're having a show like White Lotus, which granted, it's the way it works, but it's kind of, to me, turning into a little bit of a one-trick pony where you have all these dissonant things happening, and it comes together, in the last 15 minutes of the last episode, and everybody goes, oh, that was great. That built up for 7.5 hours. We just got to see slowly moving our way towards this one moment. I want to see a little bit more of a rise and fall. I want to see more climaxes happening throughout. And I'm not just talking about Saxon. I'm talking about climaxes in the storyline. We need to see something that keeps us kind of almost cliffhangering. And I just am not feeling that with this show. That being said, it was a really good episode. It definitely sets things up. I'm right there with you, Jer. I'm excited to see what the next 2 episodes, what the next 2 hours in our White Lotus, adventure is going to bring us. But at the same time, I'm getting frustrated with this show and on a whole. So I'm giving this a 1.23. Absolutely no rhyme or reason to the 2-3. It just sounded good. So 1, 2, 3, boom, let's do it. Since Sean is next in my list, it goes Jer, me, Sean. We're gonna go to Sean. Brotherly Love, Philadelphia.
Sure,
I'll go next.
Okay, all right. Ed, go ahead.
That's not how I did it, Ed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, so you know what? Let's find a new way, Buddha. Okay, you're all over the place with how you're saying it, and then you gave her a pretty good score. So,
I'm just I like it, but I hate it, but I really like it.
But it's good, but I'm so frustrated. It's frustration. There you go.
I feel like what this season had that was going wrong was episode 3, and then 2 and 4 were also low points. So just around that 2, 3, 4, we're just everyone was waiting for the White Lotus to come out. This is the White Lotus flower. Guess what, guys? We saw it, and it's ugly, but it's there. We're seeing what's this season about, and 5 and 6 definitely brought some life to this season. Is it better than season 2 or 1? We don't know yet. We have to wait for how that wraps up. I didn't think season 2 was going to be so good until the very last 2 episodes, to be honest.
Good point. Yeah.
There's a good build-up. I do think this caught me for a big surprise. This episode caught me a very big surprise. I was not expecting some of the stuff I saw. I thought last episode was a little bit better. It was a higher point.
Yeah.
It just for me, I just thought the last episode was a little higher than this one, but it's very close to each other. I don't know if maybe I just had questions with Piper and Lachlan, and I know the Ratliffs overall. Everyone's kind of like annoying me, but at the same time, I'm like intrigued. It's weird. So I'm giving this a 1.51. A 1.51. So this is a feel good first cocktail with a shot. A 1.51.
And a little spillage.
A little more ice.
All right, I'll bring this home. I thought this was one of the better episodes, other than the fact that incest has now become paramount of television. I think it's it's sad that HBO has to push it there. They did it with Game of Thrones. Did it better. They did it with
House of Dragons.
So many other shows, and it's like I'm kind of sick of the frivolity like that they just throw it out there with. Like it doesn't matter. Like it's nothing. It's just part of our network now, and that's part of why it's gross to me. So other than that, I think this episode was very good. I think that it definitely was a increase in quality from, like Eddie said, episode 2, 3, 4. I think 5 had a high peak. I think this one answered a lot of questions. It set up a lot, and it kind of created, to me, it like kind of what Jeremiah said. It created this clue aspect where it ran through all the stuff that could happen, and now we're going to see what's going to happen.
Yeah,
we're going to have these last 2 episodes, and I will, post judgment. If those don't hit hard, this will be the worst season, and perhaps, it'll dissuade me from wanting to do season 4. But if it hits, then it'll be right back into my good wheelhouse. Anyway, I give this episode a 1. A feel good first cocktail. I think that it's the better of the season. Perhaps not the best, but definitely the better. And when we combine all those scores and divide by 4, Ed, what does season 3, episode 6 of The White Lotus give us?
It gives us a 1.2225. A 1.2225.
You guys okay there?
Nope. I mean, I'm dying. He's dying. He's gone.
Went down the wrong pipe.
Okay, because I'm going to my screen right here, and that's the reason why I'm like, I can't see anything.
Oh, yeah.
I just hear like fucking disease shit going on. I'm like,
Sean might be over in the corner.
Took a big cough.
I think it's more of it might be a trash can incident.
He was having allergies. I think he just went down the wrong pipe.
Can we all agree that spring is the worst fucking season of the year?
Hashtag truth.
Oh God,
allergies. Windy, I hate spring.
No, there's these trees right outside the house.
Allergies. I hate that.
There's these trees that are just bloomed like today. Today's the first fucking day, and it's just like, anyway.
I don't know if I'm sick or if I have allergies. It's pissing me off.
And this 1.2225, where does it put us on the list of episodes we've reviewed thus far in season 3?
Well, gentlemen, it is the second best episode of season 3 for White Lotus.
Behind episode 5?
Here.
Episode 5 being... Episode 5 being the best.
Episode 5 being the best. This is number 2, episode 6.
So if you're a fan of the podcast, wherever you're listening, anywhere podcasts are available, we ask you please leave us a 5-star review. And if you're listening to us on a podcast, you could jump over to YouTube and see all of our movies that we do. We do a movie review every week. And you could also go over to our Instagram where Jeremiah shows you some cocktails and some bloopers and some Gentleman Weeklies and some all sorts of stuff over there. And that is at the .gentleman podcast. The dot means a lot. And with that, we say cheers. We'll see you next week.
Hey, no joke.
Cheers.
New season theme song is a fucking banger. I'm so about the song now, dude. It's so industrial.
It grew on you, huh?
Yeah, it grew on me, dude.
I'm saying season 3. I've been there. I've been there, Jeremiah. This one's awesome.
It's a good song. It's a good song. I gotta be honest.